Hi again, and welcome to Conversations with Mike, short webettes providing insight and key information on frequently asked questions concerning electrical test connectors. Today's question to Mike Eady, our Senior Urethane Test Connector Specialist at ATS Test Systems, is regarding how long connectors last. And Mike, you've often mentioned that factory product connectors are only good for a few insertions. How many connections are custom test connectors good for?
Well, James, I always like getting this question because many years ago I did some experiments on life cycle testing. And it's nice to know all the efforts I put in back then have been worth it, because now I can give these answers with confidence. But before I answer this question, let me just clarify exactly what we mean by a factory product connector versus an ATS test connector, custom test connector, pardon me. The factory product connector typically violates each other, the male-female standard type connection. Ideally, these connections are meant to be connected once and left for the longevity of their life. They're not meant to be disconnected and reconnected and disconnected and reconnected. Now, what we're doing essentially is we're taking this connector, it's only meant for one connection, and we're using it in a test situation where we're connecting repeatedly. Typically, you're going to get maybe 4 or 5 insertions until you start seeing some continuity issues. Now, if you go over to the other side of things where we have this custom test connector, we're using a spring probe contact, or otherwise commonly known as a pogo pin, to make the connection with the product, with the customer's product, without doing any violation or any damage to the customer's product, therefore giving the repeatable connection over and over again. So we get into the meat of this. The spring probe contacts that we use are rated by our suppliers at 100,000 cycles. Now, I personally have seen these go well beyond 200,000 cycles, depending on the environment they're in. So the life cycle tests that I did many years back saw these connectors go well beyond 250,000 cycles and still perform with 100% repeatability. So just to explain again, these pogo pins, they're meant to go for a long period of time, much longer than your factory product connector. And online, once a pogo pin actually does wear out beyond its 100,000 plus cycles, in most cases it can be changed in seconds while on the line, allowing for minimal disruption to your production.
Well, that's quite a difference, Mike, between product and test connector durabilities. Thanks again, Mike. To keep you informed about new test connector developments, why not subscribe to Mike's free newsletter, Test Connector News Forum. It's just drop Mike a note, and he'll add you to his conversation group. We think you'll find this newsletter very helpful. Okay, that's it for this webinar, Conversation with Mike. Thanks for joining us, and look for more conversations with Mike, providing solutions to meet all of your testing needs.